Welcome to our celebration of National Indigenous Peoples Day. I'm here today on the roof of South Riverdale Community Health Centre. Because of the pandemic, we've had to find some different ways to come together to celebrate this day. And so we are doing some pre-recording here on the roof. And this is a day where we celebrate Indigenous culture, language, and traditions. And in order to do that, we had to think a bit creatively. Unfortunately, we can't all be together celebrating. And I think one of the things we've missed over this last year and a bit is the opportunity to come together to share traditions, culture, and language. And we had to be creative about it this year. So we're doing some pre-recording, and I want to acknowledge Les Harper, the Indigenous health promoter here at South Riverdale, for helping us come up with some ideas and connecting us with local community members who will share through drumming and dance some of their traditions and gifts to our community. And I'm really happy to introduce Les, who will start us into the program.
I'd like to welcome everybody today to First Nations Day and thank everybody that's going to be watching this. And we have a great honor and treat to have traditional dancers and singers here today on this day, and thank South Riverdale for being a part of bringing that to the forefront. And it's going to be a great thing. And I'd like to say thank you to our community to come out and support South Riverdale on this day. And so we have a great day today with great culture, traditions, and we're going to have so many speakers, Wanda Whitebird, many people, different people speak. And I just want to say thank you. We're going to start off with an honor song with Isaiah Cada and Wayne Moberly. They're going to start off with an honor song to start off this pretty much.
Ani Bojo, my name is Nicole. I'm Circling Hawk woman from the Eagle Clan. My family originates from the Ottawa Valley area, grew up in Toronto for 2 generations. My family and I are going to be demonstrating some dance styles for you. My partner and Wayne Mobley are going to be singing for us. And it's really important, especially on our First Nations Day, that we have this opportunity to dance for you, because not too long ago our dances were illegal from that colonial state. So to be able to dance here today is an honor that is indescribable. My daughter, Indiana, will also be singing for you Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star in the Ojibwe language. For us and our family, it's really important because her grandmother and her great-grandmother attended residential schools and day schools and had that language removed from them. So her father, Isaiah, and in Indiana are actually working generationally to restore that language. So when we hear Indiana sing in the language, it's again, it's something a beauty that's indescribable, because it really shows the resiliency of our communities and for our ancestors that struggled through that colonization and that cultural genocide to hold on to the tradition so that we could be here for you today. My style of dance is a women's fancy shawl. My daughter will be dancing in a jingle dress. Jingle dress is from the Ojibwe Nation, comes from Whitefish Bay, and Leila Kwanabens will be here dancing as well for you, and her family comes from the Whitefish Bay area where that jingle dress had originated from. Especially now in the time of the pandemic, our jingle dress dancers are very important as they bring that healing. Maggie White was the first jingle dress dancer, and it was through a sickness. I believe it was from the time of the last pandemic that her father prayed and made this jingle dress for her and brought forth that healing. Maggie, as a child, was very sick, and then well into her elder years, traveled all over Turtle Island sharing the story and how that jingle dress came to be. So when you watch these dancers, and any dancer at any time, you see our jingle dress dancers have that mindfulness and that honor and that respect, as I'm sure we all do already, but to have that for them, because it's a big responsibility to carry that on. And for my style of dance, the fancy shawl, the story that I know of that fancy shawl came to me from the John family from Huon First Nation. Here in Toronto, sharing the story with us at the time was a visiting school program there at the Native Canadian Centre. And the story of this shawl came from a time, as I said before, our dances were outlawed. And there was the Wild Wild West show with Buffalo Bill Cody. And also us know Sitting Bull, who traveled with that Wild Wild West show. And that was a time where our ancestors could dance. Those regalias and that ceremony and dance could kind of come from that hiding that had to happen because of colonization, and showcase a little, And there's a men's fancy dance, sorry. I have to be careful with that genderized language, because that's that impact of colonization. So our fancy dance, Fancy Feather, came from that Wild Wild West show. And there was a community member who saw that style of dance, and at the time of colonization, when that gender binary was imposed onto our communities, it was only for men to dance. And that's traditionally not our way. So a young lady, who identified as a young lady, broke that binary and put on men's fancy regalia and danced. And from that bravery became the women's fancy shawl, or now we know as fancy shawl dance. And the shawls came from on our arms onto our backs, and we began to lift our feet. And it reminds us of that butterfly. So when they saw that dance for the first time, it brought forth that teaching of that butterfly and that transformation. As we know, butterflies, that's what they teach us. They're caterpillar, going internally into that chrysalis, and then birthed into that beautiful butterfly. It reminds us of that change. So just as colonization came to change our traditional ways, it was our strength and resiliency that is coming and bringing us back to our original teachings, that is connected to the land and to spirit, and to honor our who we are as individual people, and also, most importantly, to break that gender binary and bring us back into the traditional ways that we're supposed to be. So it's an honor to be here with you today. Chinubech.
How y'all doing? My name is Isaiah Keita, and I'm an Ojibwe from Mississauga and Blind River, born and raised here in Toronto, Ontario. I'm here to explain to you a little bit about the drum and the singing. To me, the way that this was taught is this drum, in our language we call it dewegan, and what that means is heartbeat, because it's the heartbeat of Mother Earth, we believe. And that sound, it's in us from birth. We hear that for 9 months straight, that ba-boom, 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 ba-boom. That's that sound. And so when we hear this drum, it's that blood memory that brings us back to it. And a lot of people, they talk about it, that it calls us, that sound. Even my daughter, when she was little, I would carry her on my chest, and with that I would sing at the drum, and there'd be like 9 guys, and we'd sing, and she'd be sleeping in my carrier. So that drum, it's that soothing sound. It reminds us of that time. And this style of singing, they say it comes from the spirits. It's mimicking the spirits, that high pitch. It's mimicking that sound that they make, right? So it's just a little bit on the drum and a little bit on the singing. So I hope y'all enjoy it and have a good time.